So, do you have a stinky tank? What is it that causes a tank to smell bad? What is really a stinky tank?
Well, hello. Jump right on in. You're at Father Fish.
We've all had the experience of walking past the tank and wanting to hold our nose because it just doesn't smell right. But what causes that? What causes a tank to smell bad, to become a stinky tank? Well, there are a couple of issues. The primary one, of course, is overfeeding, just putting too much food in the tank. More food than the fish can eat, or more food than they should eat. Both are equal problems. It's not a matter necessarily of having food laying on the bottom. It may simply be a matter of having the fish eat more food than the tank can assimilate as waste. That's something you need to consider. Because if you have a tank that is not set up to be able to convert waste to energy, then that waste simply builds up. It may build up in your filter. It may build up in your gravel. It may simply build up on the bottom. But as it builds up, it creates more and more bacteria to try to break it down. And that bacteria then begins to bring the oxygen level to a critical status, a critical state, where microscopic life, as well as the fish, begin to deteriorate. As that happens, the tank will start to take on an odor. That odor is an odor of death. A stinky tank is a dying tank. It's just like if you walk by someone who stinks, you know there's something wrong, something unhealthy. It's not normal. Now, I'll grant you, recently someone said, Father Fish's tanks, look how yellow it is. It's as yellow as my teeth. And my response was, well, yeah, that's probably true. The only difference is my tanks don't stink, and they don't. I don't have smelly tanks. My tanks smell fresh. They smell like water, smell like earth. There is no odor to them. It's frankly because of two things. Number one, because I have a deep substrate with sand. What that does is hold all of the waste down in the substrate where it can be broken down. Number two is I don't put a bunch of chemicals in there that prevent that process from occurring. Most of the chemicals you put in the tank are chemicals that stop the process of natural deterioration of waste. Now, the natural deterioration of waste is the way in which nature maintains its health. Things die. When they die, if they're allowed to deteriorate naturally, then they become energy, a source of energy for other, perhaps more microbial life or plant life. In other words, the waste is converted into nutrient. As it is converted into nutrient, there's no odor involved in that at all. If there is an odor, it's because that process is being truncated, it's being short-circuited, and it's not being allowed to continue. When chemicals are introduced to that biological activity, it short-circuits that system. It short-circuits that biological activity. That causes the waste then to deteriorate in a way that does not make it available as nutrient, but rather causes it to deteriorate in a way that creates genuine waste, in a way that fouls its environment. And it is the fouling of the environment that creates that odor. What causes that fouling of the environment? Well, it's the introduction, typically, of chemicals that short circuit or that cut off the natural breakdown of waste. So two things. Number one, having a deep substrate that creates an environment where that can occur. That also can occur in a filter, no question about it. But the introduction of chemicals to that process causes a burn off. It causes a killing of the microbial life that is involved in the breakdown process. In other words, that process occurs by virtue of certain kinds of fungus and certain kinds of bacteria that break down the waste in order to make it available to other microfauna. If those fungus and those bacteria are killed off by chemical treatment, then what's left is waste material that cannot be broken down. And it simply sits there and it, well, for lack of a better word, it fouls. So the solution to the problem of a stinky tank is really quite simple. Create in your tank a deep substrate. Now, if you're already set up and you don't want to break it down, you've got an inch of gravel, just add 2 inches of sand on top of it. That's all you need to do. And you don't need to do it all at once. You can do a ½ inch every couple of days, once a week, ½ inch a week. Just build it up over a period of time. If it takes a month or 2 months, that's fine. Get a sand cap in your tank that is at least 2 inches deep. That's number one. If you can start from scratch, then follow our formula. It's outlined in detail on the Fatherfish Shoal. Link is below. Be sure to go there and to check that out. There are amazing resources available in our shoal on our Discord server, as well as resources in terms of information and people. There are people there who will help you. They're there to help you. They're excited to be able to help you. Check it out and take advantage of that resource. It may be the most vital resource that's available to fish keepers on the web. There are currently about 30,000 people who have been through that resource. A few thousand hang around. They stay there. They like it so much, they want to be a part of it ongoing. And they are our helpers. They are our staff who are there. They're trained, they're skilled, they're able to help you. Plants, plants, plants. We have lots of plants. Come visit our Shopify store. Go to fatherfish.fish. Fatherfish.fish. That will introduce you to all things fatherfish. You'll be able to find anything you want, literally anywhere in the world, wherever you are in the world. If we don't yet have somebody supplying our fatherfish supplement, we will shortly. Send us an email and ask about that. We can help set you up in your own little business so you can be in Pakistan or in Greece or in India. We don't have anybody in India yet. We have a lot of people in India who are interested in our channel. So get involved. Number 2, stop using chemicals. Which chemicals? Frankly, all chemicals. There are absolutely no chemicals that are critical for the maintenance of an aquarium. Now, you may talk about chlorine and chloramine. If you have chlorine in your water and you put plants in the water, the plants will gas off the chlorine. Chlorine is a gas. It does so naturally. All you really need to do is bubble the water and the chlorine is gone. If you have chloramine, that's another matter. Chloramine has to be removed chemically. So what's the very best chemical to use? Vitamin C. 1,000 unit tablet per 5 gallons will break down chloramine into chlorine and ammonia. The chlorine will gas off, the plants will absorb the ammonia. It's gone. It is a non-issue. You can put it in, drop those tablets in there. You cannot overdose with vitamin C tablets. They have no negative impact. They're not dangerous. They're not toxic in any way at all. They're probably beneficial as a vitamin. They will get rid of chlorine and chloramine. And if you dump the whole bottle in there, or your 3-year-old does, it's not going to hurt anything. It is really not a chemical. It really is a vitamin that you're using to break down an undesirable chemical that's in the water, namely chloramine. No chemicals of any kind are of any value. I want to say this again. There are no chemicals of any kind that are of value to the health and well-being of your aquarium. Absolutely none. There is not one. So long as you have a deep substrate and don't need to be killing things in order to try to maintain clear, clean water, you don't need any chemicals at all. I never put any chemical of any kind in this tank. Never. Absolutely never. If I have a fish that becomes sick, diseased, something is wrong with it that I can't treat in the tank, I take it out of the tank. I put it in a hospital tank. If that requires a medication, I can do it there. I don't introduce it into my tank. Absolutely never. Not if you are trying to maintain a natural, balanced aquarium. Now, if you just got bare water, and that bare water is simply sitting there with fish in it, and you're trying to keep it clear and clean, well, good luck to you. Eventually you will fail. Eventually all the fish will die. It is inevitable. Might take 5 years, but it's going to happen. You can try to maintain that. You can service it. You can get in there routinely, daily or weekly, do water changes, do everything you can to try to keep it going. Eventually, you're going to miss a beat and the fish are going to be dead. This tank has been set up for 22 years. How often do I treat it? Never. How often do I do water changes? About once every 3 or 4 months. I'll do maybe a 25% water change. More to make me feel good than for the benefit of the tank. I do keep it covered, so evaporation is limited. When it drops down, I refill it with natural tap water in order to continue to replace the minerals that are in my natural water. That's it, folks. It's really that simple. If you have a stinky tank, put sand in it, stop putting chemicals in it. Slow down on your feeding and add plants, and then add plants, and then add plants. You cannot have too many plants. And the big secret is the more plants you have, the more fish you can have. These birds are sounding awful. Quiet, you guys. I love their song. It is a little disruptive, particularly when we're on a live stream. I hope it hasn't bothered you too much here. I'm happy to chat with you, happy to be here, just happy to be a part of all this. It's wonderful to be a part of it, and so especially wonderful to be able to help people create a tank that is healthy and happy and natural, that you can enjoy without stress, that you can simply use it as a stress reliever and not as a stress inducer. If your tank is causing you stress, you need to make a change. Watch videos. Here's my challenge. Watch 10 fatherfish videos, not 2 or 3 or 4. Watch 10. If you watch 10 fatherfish videos, whatever they are, doesn't much matter. I say the same thing in 50 different ways over and over again. I get criticized for it, but it's important because you need to understand the basics. Once you got the basics, then it's just a matter of refining that and having confidence in it, trusting yourself, and being able to move forward with just the joy of fish keeping. Love you all. Meet us over on Discord. Send me an email. I read every email. You may just get a heart or you may get a comment, but I do read every video. So love you all. Bye for now.